Hello and welcome to this hands-on lab session where we will explore AWS S3. We will create an S3 bucket, upload a couple of objects, see how we can make them public from private, and we'll also see bucket versioning. All right, so let's get started. We can reach S3 service by either typing it here or by selecting from the recently visited services section. So click on S3 and then click on create bucket. Now, if you remember from the conceptual walkthrough, we need this bucket name to be unique, and that is globally unique. So let us try something which is very common. What do you think? Will we be able to create it? Let us see. No. Bucket with the same name already exists, but it doesn't exist with us. So it exists with some other account. All right. So let me try and give a name that may not be taken by somebody else. Teacher Amit K. Yeah, it is available. All right. And I'm creating this bucket in my own region, Asia Pacific region, wherein I will be doing a lot of activities in this region. Let it be. We will come and revisit this. Even this part we'll revisit later. No tags. Encryption is not something that we're going to handle here. Create bucket. Wonderful. So now bucket is created. Next step is to upload an object onto this bucket. Upload. Add files. Test file 1.txt. It could be anyone. I'm just selecting this. And then upload. So it has been uploaded. Upload succeeded. Great. Now click on this bucket to know more about it. As I told you, whenever we upload an object on S3, it has an HTTPS URL. You see this? And if we click on this HTTPS URL, what do you think will happen? Will we be able to access this object? No. It is private, hence access denied. We have already covered all this in our conceptual walkthrough, right? So how do we make it public? So, one more thing. There is something called S3 URI. Please do not confuse S3 URI with object URL, okay? S3 URI will also be useful in a lot of our DevOps workflows, and we'll explore them. Okay. Now, let us try and make this object public. There has to be an option to make it public. Make public. Make public. Oh, it failed to edit public access. Why? Public access is blocked because block public access settings are turned on for this bucket. You remember the settings that wherein I told you that we'll revisit this. Okay. Let us exit from here. So now we first need to enable public access at bucket level before enabling it at object level. Objects are inside the bucket. All right. Let us go to permissions. This is the section that we are talking about. Block all public access. Click on edit, uncheck this, and you're done. At bucket level, you are done. Okay. Confirm. So the bucket is not stopping objects to become public here. So what do you say? Will the object still be public or private? Let's see that. it is still private, not accessible. Let us try and make it public now. So now at S3 bucket level, it is not stopping an object from becoming public. And now at S3 object level, we are making it public. Make public. It says successfully edited public access. So now if we go to the object, it should have public access. Yes, this is version 1 of file 1. This is the actual content of this file. Great. That is one way of making an object public. Now, what if there are multiple objects and we want all of them to be public? That is going to be a tedious process, going individually on each and every object setting and making it public, right? So there has to be some sort of global configuration somewhere, and there is. For that, we will need to go to the bucket permission, and here, bucket policy. We talked about bucket policy in S3 section as well as IAM section. So this is where bucket, which is an AWS resource, is actually calling the shots. This bucket is saying who all can access this bucket and its content and to do what. So again, this is an S3, this is an AWS doc. Once again, I'll share this doc with you guys. This is the S3 bucket policy to make objects public in this bucket. Okay. If you see, the effect is allow, principal is everyone, action is S3 get object. So anybody who would want to get object from this S3 bucket, which S3 bucket? This S3 bucket. Okay. They can access it. This is how it becomes public. So let us go ahead and edit. And yes, all we need to do is where we see example.com, we need to mention our bucket, which is teacher Amit K. Okay. Done. Save changes. What do you think? So if we, it says access public. So if we, I think it said access public when we uncheck block all public access at that point only. So if we upload another object and if we do not go and individually make it public, will that object be public? Let us see that. That will be the real test. So click on upload, add files. Now let us upload test file 2.txt. Okay, upload. Wonderful. Test file 2. Come on guys, what do you think? If I click here, will I be able to access this file? Yes. So bucket policy is the way to enable public access at S3 bucket level without having to go individually to each and every object. Cool. Now, one more thing. Can we actually enable bucket versioning? So if we enable bucket versioning, what will happen is we can actually upload multiple versions of the same file. So let us enable bucket versioning first and then upload different versions of the same file. Let us try and do this. Properties, and here bucket versioning, edit. Let us enable this. Click on save changes. And now go back to objects and upload files. Let us upload test file 3. Okay, open. So I believe we should be able to access test file 3 and see its contents. Yes, this is the advantage of a public bucket policy. This is version 1 of file 3. Cool. Okay. Now, can we upload a different version of the same file and see if both exist? Okay. Let us see that. First, I would edit. This is version 1 of file 3. Let us say this is version 2 of file 3. Save it, close it. Okay. And upload the same file again, test file 3. Upload. Successful. Test file 3.txt, or we can refresh this. What do you see? It will say this is version 2 of file 3. Now then there could be an argument that it is overwritten. Let us see that do both the files exist or not. So here on test file 3 we see versions, and if we go there, then both the versions exist, right? One was uploaded at 2310 and the other 2312. That is how we can be sure that both the versions exist. All right, one last thing, something that I tried doing a couple of sessions back and was not able to do so when we actually configured AWS CLI. Now, if we do issue the command AWS S3 ls, which is the command to list all the buckets on this AWS account for which the CLI is configured, what do you think will happen? Last time we tried, nothing happened because there was no S3 bucket. This time there is one S3 bucket. Let us do that. Yep. Teacher Amit K. So this bucket's available and hence we can see this. So I think this is a pretty comprehensive walkthrough of basic services of AWS S3 that we are going to need in this course. And thank you. So looking forward to seeing you in the next lesson.